RSL Nation, welcome back.
I We're back,
I
but not my
it
beard.
I don't your beard is gone, and that is absolutely disappointing. Christian is absolutely
Mhm.
disappointed. Um,
Seriously.
like I can see it on your face. For those who can't see his face, it's a disappointed face for many reasons, by the way.
For many reasons. Many reasons.
Well, yes, I know I kept a promise with both you guys and all of RSL Nation, but let's get real. Having a beard in the summertime, it's hot as balls.
You better thought of that before you made that promise, bro.
I commend everybody who has a beard in the summertime. Good on you guys.
Broken promises. That almost sounds like a Boys to Men album. Um, guys, this is another episode where RSL didn't play, and therefore, we're not going to talk about any game RSL game that happened this weekend. So, I,
Well,
can we take that as a positive?
true. Facts. But this is the beginning of a fun week of soccer summer because we have two tournaments starting this weekend.
Two tournaments?
Gold
Two.
Cup
Oh,
and
yeah, that's
Club
true.
World Cup starting this weekend.
That's true. And you're already like getting what you got really excited, and that like you. I was going to talk about that in like 5 minutes, but we'll do it now. But guys, we're going to talk a lot about soccer. We're going to do a lot of soccer talk. So this is how it's going to go. We're going to get the discussion of the U.S. national team done and over with. We're gonna talk about it now, and we're just going to leave it behind us for a week because we're going to have to talk about it again. And Christian, don't give me that look. I
It's not you. Oh, it is definitely not you this time.
this time, great. Um, after we talk about everything the U.S. national team from this past weekend and tonight, we're gonna get into Club World Cup. We're gonna talk about the groups, our thoughts on the groups, who's gonna come out of this group, and who's gonna be the eventual champion in our eyes. Who knows? You guys might be surprised with my pick. Then we're gonna get into what we actually are here for. RSL DC United coming this Saturday. We're excited because it's another RSL game. It's at
Are we?
home.
Are we? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Gee
We're
whiz. Both of you guys are really negative today. I don't know if I can handle you. And then we're gonna end off with Instagram questions. Like always, we have a couple of them that we wouldn't need to answer. So, without further ado, let's get into this U.S. national team talk. Christian, I know you're like really itching to talk. So lay it on us from game one to game two, whatever order you want to talk in. Give us your thoughts on this weekend U.S. Nationals.
What a waste of time. What an absolute waste of time for Pochettino, his team, and for every player who showed up. What a disgrace. I mean, come on. Honestly, the only bright spot for the U.S. men's national team were the attacking midfielders. Diego Luna, Malik Tillman, Jack McGlynn. Um, actually, the Harrison brothers, absolutely not. What a what a waste of roster space.
Yeah.
you can't
Like,
forget Ajimanj,
Huh? Oh yeah.
Patrick Ajimanj from the first
Yeah.
game.
like shame on Johnny Cardoso. Absolute shame on him. Shame on Arston. Shame on McKennie. Shame on Walker Zimmerman. Shame on Matt Turner. Shame on Harriel. Shame on Chris Turner. Or not Turner.
Matt Turner.
Matt Turner. Chris Richards. Shame on Luca Del La Torre. Ajiman. Shame on Christian Pulisic. Weston McKinney. Gio Reyna for not being good enough. Shame, shame, shame.
There
I'm
was the only
absolutely disgusted. The only player I'm okay. There's two players I'm okay with not showing up for this camp. Two. Anthony Robinson, because he's on injury watch, and Serginho Dest. Those two I'm okay with. The rest of them need to get off the high horse that they don't even have. They think that they're sitting on stallions and they're sitting on donkeys.
They are sitting on donkeys. That's for sure.
Like, unacceptable. Except for those players that I mentioned positively, Luna, Tillman, McGlynn, Tolkien showed up. The rest should be embarrassed. You don't deserve to wear that crest. You don't deserve to represent our country. There's no passion. There's no fire. The Gold Cup that's coming up, Canada's to lose. Not Mexico. Mexico doesn't have a team right now. The US doesn't have a team right now. It's Canada's to lose. Absolutely disgusted. And this is not a Pochettino problem. Absolutely not a Pochettino problem. This is a player issue. We have the talent. We have way too much pride for that. You can't walk in thinking that you play as well as Argentina and then drop eight, what, 6 goals in 2 games
Now,
versus one scored.
here's a question for you, Christian. Do you think with it being a player problem, do you think it's with the players that they called up? Do you think adding McKinney, Gio Reyna, Pulisic, those three would change a little bit of this problem?
I think it's an attitude issue
Yeah.
more than anything. Players that get called up go because they're expected to, not necessarily that they really want to. There's no pride in playing for their country. Um, I, if McKinney, Balogun, Pulisic, you know, Tyler Adams, all of them showed up and played with pride and passion, yeah, we would have beaten Turkey. We would have at least put up a good game against Switzerland. But no, every attitude across the most of the players that showed up this weekend, except for the ones I mentioned, every player who decided to take a break was piss poor, and they should be embarrassed. Diego Luna should keep his head high. He represented the U.S. well. He represented Real Salt Lake well. He was the one bright star consistently across both games this weekend.
So how about this question? When did this lack of pride start with the U.S. national team?
Copa America last year.
I think it was during the World Cup, the last World Cup. You think it was before?
2015. I think post 2014 World Cup is when we lost our pride in being U.S. nationals. Without getting too political, I think the political environment caused us to be less proud of being USA. And I think that's what caused a lot of, I think the current players to maybe not want to represent the U.S. on an international level politically. Again, don't want to get that way, but I think we've been off for the past 10 years. Ever since, in fact, I can even like I'll give a grace. I'll give us the 2015 Copa America since we got third, fourth place in that tournament.
Mhm.
I'll give us that. After that, 16, 17, missing the 18 World Cup, 19, 20, 21, 22 World Cup we qualified for. Woohoo. Um, got out of group stage with almost, wasn't it pure ties? You see, it's like forgettable performances for me. Um, and then we got ousted by Holland. And so the U.S. national team has just been blah for the past 10 years for me. And in during that time is when what we call our veterans now, which would be the group of Adams, McKinney, and Pulisic, they started in that, and I think they were reaping the rewards, reaping the end of the hype of the 2014 World Cup, because that group I think was the last hardworking group that we've had for the U.S. national team. I don't think we've had anyone else work as hard. I mean, tonight Kyle Martino. If you guys remember who Kyle Martino is, he spoke in the after game with Dunny and with Demarcus Beasley, and he said the last person, the MLS person that I remember that played for the U.S. national team that really gave a crap and put in his best the whole time was Kyle Beckerman.
Facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. He
And,
had
and,
that
and,
dog.
I would also shout out Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan, but
but
they were
True.
but
slightly
but
before Beckerman.
Kyle never played in Europe. That's
That's
that's what
true.
that's what we're
True.
getting at.
Pure MLSer. Yeah, that's true.
Pure MLS.
Here, question for you both. Tie this in with RSL. Would you say everything that we're seeing with the U.S. men's national team with no care, no desire, we're seeing that also with RSL?
No.
But I think that you're comparing apples and oranges, and I
Yeah.
say that I say this because on a club level, you get people from various backgrounds, various right, countries, teams. Um, whereas with the U.S., everyone has at least one thing in common. They are nationals of the United States, and
Hmm.
so with that base, they should be going in with some kind of pride and dignity, saying, "Hey, I'm going to represent this." But again, going back to my point, I think we've lost the urge to represent ourselves on an international level, and it's super frustrating to see like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, Argentina. They could be dead last in their qualifying group, which would never happen. But the people would still be going to the stadium cheering because they have pride for what this represents. Now, if they're angry or they want to demonstrate, yeah, they'll do it, but they still have pride. And right now,
And
there's no pride.
well, and the funny thing is, as bad as the US is right now, it's not even close to where Argentina has been, and
Oh,
Argentina
not
still shows up with pride.
yeah. You look at the attendance for tonight's game against Switzerland. About 15,000 empty stands at Geodis Park in Nashville.
15,000 sold.
Yeah. Maybe 10,000 if they're generous, but it was just a poor showing. I seen a lot more Switzerland fans who had that care, that passion for their nation.
Yeah, and if we're gonna get like to specific games, it's like what you were saying, Christian. I think shame on Johnny Cardoso. He's rumored if you guys haven't heard, he plays for Real Betis right now, and he's rumored to be going to Atletico Madrid around the price tag that they put him at. You'll throw up. Do
I'm
you
gonna
guys
say 15 mil.
15, Christian?
I thought I saw like 19 million.
40.
What a joke!
4-0.
What an absolute joke!
Like
If if that's worth 40 million, I'm worth 30.
really? I mean, coming
No,
like
no.
seriously, this guy that I mean,
His
he's
his
supposed.
playing his playing style was very similar to what we have seen in the MLS so far this season.
Yeah, I
Please
don't
don't
see this.
disgrace MLS players like that.
Literally back-to-back games for Johnny. If you look at his FOT mob ratings, for tonight's game, he was at it
5-1.
5-1, and then against Turkey, he was like was he 4-8?
He was a 4-6.
4-6, bro. The only person
That's
in red.
that's the one time Pop Mob got it right.
um, literally Johnny was the biggest flop of this two game cycle, and I wonder if he's even going to be playing in the Gold Cup.
I
With,
wouldn't call him up.
I mean, it was that bad. It was horrible. And even then, I can't say much about Berhalter either. He wasn't very impressive either for how well he's a quote unquote shines for Vancouver and in the MLS. That was disappointing. Yes, I understand. That was his first time, second time out,
Mhm.
bro.
He should still be fit. He should still be like again. I want to maybe turn it positive. Sing the praises of Diego Luna. Every single time he was on the field, he contributed something positive. He was creative. He was aggressive with his passing. He wanted to create opportunities. I, he settled more into a playmaker role, which unfortunately was not the selflessness that the team needed over either two games. But he did his job well. He represented RSL well. He showed up with passion, with fight, and made smart decisions because he, like tonight, he wasn't the fastest player on the field by any means and was beaten a few times. But anytime he realized he was being beaten a foot race, he made a smart pass forward. Diego Luna passed forward. He made quick, short passes. He was aggressive. He made for runs. He was in, and that's exactly the type of player that any good team, whether it's a national team or a club team, needs to see in an attacking midfield player. And that's what he did. He was one of the few who actually did his job.
So I guess here's my thing though. Are we praising him because he actually did what he was supposed to do? Like, I think the only reason why we are highlighting him is because he did what he was supposed to do, whereas everyone else didn't do anything. So it's not like this is me being maybe slightly negative. It's not that he did anything like over the top extremely well. He just did his job.
Yeah,
He did what he was supposed to do on the
I was about to
field.
say this is the exact same thing. You see, second half when he came in for tonight's game against Switzerland, yeah, he stepped up. Yeah, they didn't allow any goals in that second half. They had 6 shots for the U.S., but U.S. was still pretty meh. Diego did what Diego does for us, like stepped up when we needed to. But I'm glad, honestly, I hate to say this, but I'm glad U.S. lost both these games because it was a wake up call for them because they think going into CONCACAF that they are fully prepared for this Gold Cup, but no,
There's no way.
no, not at all. So Pochettino, Luna, the whole squad needed this wake up call against Turkey and Switzerland to know what they're getting themselves into and how prepared they truly are.
But again, let's calm ourselves down also because we're looking at Trinidad and Tobago, Saudi
Yep.
Arabia, and
And
Haiti.
Haiti.
Haiti just lost tonight. Did you guys see what the score was?
No, but I know Saudi Arabia, they lost to Australia, and Australia, obviously, they just qualified for the World Cup.
Oh,
Yeah,
good job, Australia. Kudos.
yeah, yeah.
Six,
Pretty
Maybe you'll
six,
see maybe a Lockie Brook at the World Cup next year if he
six
improves.
World Cup in a row for
Fetch.
Australia.
So Haiti lost 5-1 to Curaçao.
Woo!
So yeah, so I mean, listen, let's all take a breather at the same time. We're going up against a Haiti team that barely puts players on the field. We're going against a Saudi Arabia team that they're a wild card. Depends on what shows up.
Hmm.
Trinidad and Tobago,
They just lost to
they
Costa Rica.
they lost to Costa Rica tonight. Eh, And so it's like, guys, if we can't get 9 points out of this group, then yes,
Then
this
we
is.
then we flip the panic button.
I think we do flip the panic button, and we flip the panic button on the first team, on the A team. We tell
Oh
them
yeah.
this is on you guys because if we're gonna get into the Pulisic talk, let's. In fact, I probably want to turn it real quick because if not, we're not going to finish this topic at all. Um, Pulisic, if you have a Messi, you have a Ronaldo, and you have a bunch of other players that are older than him, have played more games than him for many more years, and yet this dude needs a break. I am not against mental health breaks, not at all. But,
Hmm.
bro, you're nowhere near where people are saying he's going to be the best U.S. national team player of our history.
My thing is prove it then. Prove that you are the face of US soccer by playing in these tournaments and getting your country prepared for next year.
He's gone to one World Cup.
Yeah, one World Cup and what did you do for your country there?
Messi at his age was already doing third. I think going to get MVP at the 2014 World Cup or something like that. Bro, I mean, yes, it's unfair, absolutely unfair to compare Pulisic with Messi. But if we're gonna start comparing, bro, you haven't done jack. Like, show me what you got for us because passion doesn't look like it. Seems like he was really passionate about horseback riding on Instagram. So, I
And
I
not that
don't
we're
know.
against spending time with family and things like that, but dude, you can plan those things after the international tournaments are done. You will still get a month and a half off before you have to go back to Milan.
Guess what? It's your job too. I mean, I guess now technically national team is not his job. That's a voluntary overtime, I guess you can call it. Um, I don't know. It's frustrating to see that people who idolize him as one of the best U.S. national players of our history, and yet he pulls this crap on us.
And he could be. That's the thing. He
I,
could be.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe just the level that
I,
he's playing at.
I, 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 I stand behind Landon Donovan and his criticism, and Christian Pulisic's dad needs to
I
Bro,
would say
stop
it,
butting in his business. What is it with soccer dads? Gio Reyna's
Gino
dad
Reyna.
and Christian Pulisic's dads, get out of your son's soccer careers.
Well,
Just
you don't see any other country with their dads or their parents stepping in like that. It's like these are grown adults.
actually, Messi, Neymar.
I mean, Messi because his dad's his agent,
Yeah,
but
fair.
Yeah,
but
but the fact that you have Pulisic's dad who is getting upset at Landon Donovan. Yes, I understand Landon Donovan took a year off during that time, but this is different. Like you don't have any World Cup qualifiers prior to next year. This is your last big time, so it's like
Also, Landon Donovan was 30 years old, had gone to three World Cups, and had gone all the way to the quarterfinals in 2002, made it out of the group in 2006, and got to round of 16 in 2010. And
Correct.
was taking a break because I think he needed to be well for 2014, which we also did a pretty good run in 2014. So again, what do you have to show for it besides, oh, I played really well in Milan, I played really well in Dortmund, I played really well, or played somewhat well in Chelsea? I mean, really, this is the same criticism that Argentine fans had with Messi. Remember when he would play really
Yeah.
well with Barca and wouldn't do jack with Argentina? Well, guess what? We're doing the same exact thing with Christian, and I am fine with it because I was fine with it when we did it with Messi. I was frustrated,
Yep.
but look, if you're going to take on the captaincy, if you're going to take on the main role, you better be ready to step up.
Man, if you're gonna be called Captain America, at least be a better human being than Chris Evans. Come on.
Oh man. Well, guys, we'll leave the rant there because we could go on for days. But I do want to get maybe just one last thought. What are your guys' World Cup expectations of the U.S. at this point in time?
You're funny. You're funny. Obviously, barring what their group's going to look like with the 48, it's 48 teams next year. I'll be surprised in the moment if they get out of group stage.
Group, huh? Yeah.
I mean, it's all gonna depend on the draw. If we
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
tough,
yeah.
if we get a medium to easy draw, we'll get out of the group stage. If we get a tougher group, then we're not getting out of the group stage.
Yeah. Well,
We'll we'll be another Qatar.
seeing as Switzerland ranked lower than us in the FIFA rankings, blue bias.
Well,
I'm not sure.
seeing that Mexico beat Turkey tonight and U.S. lost to Turkey, yeah,
Oh, I didn't see the result. What was the result of that one?
1-0 for Mexico.
Oh, well, there
And
we go.
yeah,
Yeah, guys, we have a lot to talk about within the next year before World Cup, especially with this U.S. national team, and if Diego Luna is going to keep going, obviously. But we need to move on because there's other topics that we need to talk about. We're going to get into Club World Cup. That starts this Saturday. Inter Miami versus Al Ahly. Um, this is going to be a brand new tournament for all of us. Well, not all of us. Club World Cup did exist, but it existed only for the champions of each federation.
Correct.
Now has expanded, and it's taken the place of what used to be Confederations Cup.
I miss a Confederations Cup.
Me too.
Both of you, what is
Me
wrong?
too.
What? All right.
Actually, I don't know. This could grow on me. It is brand new, like you said.
Let me share my thoughts and feelings. So the reason why is because Confederations Cup, obviously, it gives us a little preview of what's to come for next year for the World Cup. The only downside is obviously if we were to have Confederations Cup this year, it'd be Argentina, Colombia, Spain, obviously US, Mexico. But let's get real. It's going to end up being an Argentina, Colombia, or an Argentina, Spain final.
Argentina, Spain for sure. But
Yeah.
because I think you had mentioned who else was it? It was New Zealand.
Ivory Coast.
Yeah, it was a bunch of yeah, it wasn't going to be a good tournament. But Club World Cup, I'm super excited. You guys are super excited.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start, but I'm going to start somewhere. We're probably going to start at the beginning.
I was gonna say, well, group predictions. I mean,
Let's go with group predictions. So we're going to go group by group. How many groups are there? Group all the way A through H.
A through H.
Okay. I'm going to list off a group. You guys are going to tell me in what order you guys 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Group A. We have Al Ahly, Porto, Miami, and Palmeiras.
Mm-hmm.
Marcos, give me your 1 through 4.
I'm going to go Porto, Miami, Palmeiras, and Al Ahly.
ooh,
Do you really think Miami's going to make it out, huh?
Just second. I'm not saying that they're going to go far. Just second.
Christian, what do you got?
I've got Porto, Palmeiras, Miami, Al Ahly.
As I was gonna go that one. Though I would actually maybe throw in Al Ali as maybe a third because
Mm.
Egyptian teams sometimes I've seen enough of Egyptian teams in previous Club World Cups to know that sometimes they are also the wild card. Just like I said, Saudi Arabia is like sometimes they just play lights out. I
Yeah.
don't know. All right, Group B. You have Atletico Madrid, Botafogo, PSG, and the Sounders. Sounders are screwed. Christian,
They
what do
are.
you think?
I gotta go Atletico Madrid, PSG, Botafogo Sounders.
You're gonna put the Champions League champions on second?
Yeah.
I'm actually repeating Christian because I'm going with the love of the Argentines. I think Julian Alvarez, De Paul, that they're going to carry that squad to get first place.
Hmm, interesting. All right. Um, I'll have to agree with you guys just because it's really hard for me to see Botafogo putting anything up. Though I do see maybe Atletico Madrid falling a little bit. They're iffy sometimes. Huh? Just keep an eye on that. Group C. This one might be the most obvious one, I think, but we have Auckland City, Bayern, Benfica, and Boca. Marcos.
Bayern, Benfica, Auckland, Boca. You heard it here first. Boca is going to
Ooh.
get last place. Boca is not the Boca as from past years.
That
Boca
is
has
true.
Boca has been struggling, so they are going to get last place in their group.
There's a solid argument there, but the Australian League? No, sorry, that's
This is New
New
Zealand.
Zealand.
It's
Yeah,
New Zealand.
that's even a step down. So I'm gonna have to go Bayern, Benfica, Boca, Auckland.
Yeah, I'll go with Christian. Yeah, even though I do want Boca just to be just absolutely blasted. That would make even if we don't move on, I would want them to get blasted. All right, Group D. This is Chelsea.
These nuts.
Shoot, you just totally you threw off my groove. Um, Group D: Chelsea, Esperance, Flamengo, and newly added LAFC. Who did I leave off on? Christian, go.
It's got to be Chelsea, Flamengo, LAFC, Esperance, but I could see LAFC surprise Flamengo and hop into second.
I'm glad we think the same.
Yeah,
Marcos.
I'm going Chelsea, LAFC, Flamengo, Esperance, just because what we saw LAFC, they're all of a sudden on this spike, beating America, what they did to Sporting KC over the weekend. So they've got this groove all of a sudden.
Hmm, I don't know. Brazilian teams, even though Brazilian teams are struggling right now, by the way, in the Copa Libertadores draw, you know how they have two pots, pot one,
Hmm.
pot two. Out of the eight Brazilian clubs that were still in, three of them were in pot one, five of them were in pot two, which means that they were all pot two. Obviously, was second place in their group, so they're struggling ish right now. Um, so let's move on. Group E. We
The
have
best group.
Inter Milan, Monterrey, River Plate, and Urawa. Marcos.
Ooh, Inter, River, Urawa Red Diamonds, and Monterrey.
Interesting. See, I think this is probably the closest to the group of death out of the entire tournament because Japanese teams are sneakily very, very
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like my prediction could change here. Honestly, with interchanging coaches, I think we're gonna see a struggle there as well. So here's what I'm gonna say. This is gonna be wild. River, Urawa, Inter, Monterrey.
Woo! That was woo. Wow, did not expect that, Christian.
You left me speechless. Like I would kiss you in the mouth if that happens, but
Oh, please don't. Oh no. Please let me be wrong then.
but that would be so really surprising, and especially with what River Plate is going through right now with Mastantuono being sold for a
That's a good
total
point.
of $70 million for to Real Madrid. But he supposedly is supposed to be playing for River Plate during this tournament, then leaves. All right. Group F. Dortmund, Fluminense, Mamelodi, and Ulsan. This is probably like the weirdest group, and I think it
N-
might be in that order.
I actually disagree.
What?
It's Dortmund, Fluminense, Ulsan,
Oh,
Mamelodi.
they switched third and fourth. Ooh.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. Let's go for the South African team. So let's go Dortmund, Malawadi second, Fluminense, and then Ulsan for fourth.
Look, I said the Brazilian teams were bad, but not that bad. I mean, come on.
I want to give some love to these African teams. They got to get out of the group too.
I don't think so. The the only one I think the only African team that I think is going to get out, like I said, is actually no, I haven't guessed any of them. All right, Group G: Al Ahly, Juventus, Man City, and Wydad Casablanca.
Well, here's your African team:
There's another one. Yes, I don't know what you guys got.
City, Juve, Alain, Casablanca.
Ooh, I've got City, Juve, Casablanca, Al Ain.
What? All right. Al Ahly, I actually would. I don't think there's going to be any competition for one and two, but I would put Al Ain at third. Just saying that they're good. Though with how much City is struggling, I wouldn't be surprised if City struggles and maybe ties Al Ain, which means the last game of the group will be the one that gets them across the line. So who knows? All right, last group: Al Hilal, Pachuca, Real Madrid, and Salzburg.
Now, call me crazy. I'm going out on a dark limb here. Salzburg, Madrid, Alial, Pachuca.
Whoa.
Because listen here,
Whoa.
Madrid
What?
is gonna have a new coach. It's gonna take transition.
But
I'm putting.
he's one that's he's
I
been a
know, I
part
know,
of it.
I know. I'm just putting all my marbles in on this Austria team that they're gonna pull off the biggest upset in this whole tournament.
That actually would be an upset.
That would
I,
be a huge upset.
I don't know. Christian. Bring it back to reality.
I don't know if I can be realistic on this one. I'm gonna say Real Madrid, Al Hilal, Salzburg, Pachuca.
I think Al Hilal can do it. I think you might have something there, because between them, Al Hilal and Al Ali from Group A, they probably have the best chances of moving on out of the Middle Eastern teams. Just by pure history, by how the Middle Eastern teams have played in previous tournaments, I think those two have the best chances. Um, but yeah, this is a crazy one. But
Okay,
now
so
what?
who are both of you guys' Cinderellas overall in this tournament that you don't think is gonna obviously win it, but could make some noise?
Hmm.
Besides River, all right, leaving
Besides
leaving our
River.
leaving fandom aside, I actually think LAFC.
LAFC could make some big noise. Um, and I'll give some more love to the Japanese team. Urawa could make some big noise too.
Uh, it's true.
You
Um,
know, I'm gonna maybe have to go with Palmeiras or maybe another Brazilian team, Botafogo. I think either of those two teams could make some noise.
Here's the thing though with my LAFC dark horse. If LAFC can get out, I think they're going to get out as second. Which means that they'd have to play against 1C, which our guesses were
Bayern.
Bayern or Benfica. I mean, I think those are pretty even, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Um, can they get past Bayern or Benfica?
No.
Oof. I'm not going to say it's a hard no. I think that
Benfica, they would have a better chance against Benfica than Bayern.
yes, I can see that. If I were a numbers guy, then yes. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities, especially with how LAFC performs in tournaments for the most part. I don't think we can put it past them to get maybe past Benfica or Bayern Munich. It'd be ridiculous. But I mean, we're talking dark horse, obviously. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
just saying. I don't know. Wait, Marcus, who'd you say again?
I'm gonna go with Botafogo or Palmeiras.
Botafogo Palmeiras. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll say, I'll make this promise now. If my dark horse, if Urawa makes it to the quarterfinals, I will buy
Quarters.
their
Oh
I will buy
shoot.
a jersey.
I'm
All
really
right.
hoping this. I'm hoping they go far now.
That I mean, I'm down. I'm down. All right.
All I can say is I want a team that's not European to win this tournament.
Well, let's get into the knockout rounds right now. All right. So the knockout rounds. We have the I mean, it's the exact same as any World Cup. I mean, we have
Hmm.
1A, 2B, 1B, 2A, um et cetera, et cetera. But they're not going to be playing against each other. So, in terms of like the winner of 1A, 2B doesn't play the winner of 1B, 2A.
They
Okay.
play 1A, 2B, play the winner of 1C, 2D.
Yeah. So let's kind of, I don't know how we're going to paint this picture and keep track of it, guys, but keep track of it, you guys, while I start explaining. All right. So your guys's 1A, 2B.
Trying to remember, I had Porto against PSG.
So yours would be Porto against PSG. Oh, that's actually a fun matchup. Christian, what'd you have? 1A, 2B.
Porto PSG.
Oh, same thing. All right. Porto PSG. I think that's a uh pretty fair. I mean, it could be Porto Atletico depending on how PSG plays, but we're pretty sure Porto's going to win Group A. So, now I'm starting to think a little bit more, maybe Miami, maybe. But they would play the winner of 1A, 2B. So whoever is Porto PSG would play against 1C, 2D.
Oh shoot, you got season. Does
1C.
everybody make it to the knockout round?
No, no, no. Top two from each group.
Oh,
Yeah. So
what?
1C.
I have Bayern going against that was Fleming. No, excuse me, that was LAFC.
All right. You have Bayern LAFC. Christian, you look a little confused. Have you
So
have you done this World Cup fixture before?
so hold on. I've been marking them down as 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B. So if it's 1C,
And 2D.
that would be Munich Flamingo.
Okay. So Munich LAFC, Munich Flamengo. Okay. I'm cool with that. On the same side of the bracket, we have 1E and 2F.
I have Inter going against Fluminense.
Same.
That's a good one. Right below that, we have 1G, 2H.
Oh, that's the one I have. So City against Real Madrid.
City Real Madrid, bro.
I have
Oh,
City Al Hilal.
City Al Hilal. Aren't they owned by like the same person?
Probably.
um, I'm really wondering your City Real Madrid just 'cause I don't see Madrid getting second, but that seems. I mean, it sounds like a cool matchup, but no. All right, other side of the bracket. 1B, 2A.
1B.
Palmeiras Atletico Madrid.
That's a good matchup. I like that.
I had Inter Miami, PSG.
That is an interest. Oh,
That would be
battle,
interesting.
Messi against
battle
his
of
former team.
battle of the X's. This is great. That's when I would want to watch just for Messi to beat PSG. They have to. All right, right below that, 1D, 2C.
Chelsea, Benfica.
Chelsea Benfica.
All right, Chelsea Benfica it is. 1H, 2G.
1H.
I have
1H,
Juve Real Madrid.
Juve. You have Juve as the second in G.
Mhm.
Juve Real Madrid. That's a good one.
Juve, Salzburg.
That's a weird one. That sounds like a Champions League group game. One F, two E.
That's my dark horse, Urawa BVB.
Oh yeah, because you have River
Dortmund.
go you have River as
Oh,
one.
this is the
Yes,
my
I do.
this is my Dortmund River matchup.
Dortmund River. By the way, a supercomputer put together some kind of like analytics and who's gonna win the whole thing. I don't know if you guys saw it on Twitter, but
Mm.
apparently they had this matchup, that matchup, the River Dortmund, and they have River winning.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow,
Honestly,
wow.
I wouldn't put it against them. I love Dortmund, but it's possible.
All right, give me your quarterfinal matchups. Um,
Which one are we on to?
are you guys, if you guys looking at the same little diagram as me? In fact, let me just I'm going to share everyone my screeny screen so that way everyone,
Screeny screen.
just because I don't have it all filled out, but at least you guys know what we're looking at. All right, so here we go. All right, here we go. I'm going to zoom in here. Here we go. We're going to go over here. This EF1, EF2. So it'd be 1A, 2B, 1C, 2D. Who do you guys have in this game?
I'm trying to figure out
I know I'm trying to say.
who
Honestly, I could see a Porto Munich.
Okay, I like it.
I'm going PSG against 1C. PSG Bayern.
Oh, that's a really good one too. All right. The lower half of this group. So I think that's one Christian has River in here somewhere.
Yep.
All right. What do you got?
So that would be River City.
Oh, I'd sympathize with that. That's a good matchup.
Thank you.
I have Intercity.
Intercity. All right. I
The
hear there's many.
hood.
I was gonna say I hear there's many problems. All right, that's a good matchup. All right,
Hold on, I need to write down what I said before. I said
guess what? You can listen to
Porto
this episode afterwards, just like everyone else. Hey guys, make sure you keep listening.
Munich, but for the next round, come
Oh
on,
yeah.
man.
All right, next
One
round, fine.
one B 2A. So I have 2C. I have, let's see here. I'm gonna go Atletico Madrid against Chelsea.
Atletico Madrid and Chelsea.
Yeah, I got that too.
That's a good one. Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. All right, the lower half of that side.
Let's see here. 1H.
One H, two G, one F, two E.
I will say one F,
I
two
love this.
E.
You guys
I,
go back and forth.
I'm gonna say
Um,
Juve BVB.
All right. Juve BVB. Okay. Marcos, don't
um,
think too long.
let's go
This is,
Dortmund River.
they, no, they can't play.
Oh no, they can't. I'm gonna
Fig
go River is gonna play against 1F. Yeah. No, they're gonna play against Dortmund.
But how if River is two, in your case would be two E, one F would be Dortmund. So I
Oh,
mean,
sorry, River Juve.
there we go. River Juve. There we go. Finally. All
There we
right.
go.
Semifinals. All right. Give me both semifinals. I don't care in
I can
whatever side.
I can remember what I wrote
Munich
down.
City, Chelsea, Dortmund.
What? Dortmund, really? All right.
Mhm.
Munich City, Chelsea, Dortmund. Marcus,
I'm
what do you
trying.
got?
I'm trying to remember I'll put.
You didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down, but I guess in my final, I'll put Atletico Madrid City in the final.
Is that possible? Atletico Madrid.
Sure. I
If
can't
they're
remember.
first in their group, and if Bayern was first in their group, so yeah, yours works. Good.
Yeah.
Christian, who do you have for your final?
City, Dortmund, with City taking the title.
Really? I'm almost like that's a disappointing like that's my disappointed voice.
Does that hurt? Does that hurt for you to say that, Christian?
A little bit.
That sounds.
No,
I'm disappointed.
I thought Atletico Madrid is going to win the trophy.
Nah, nah. I don't know, guys. It's gonna be a long tournament. It's World Cup, so
It, there's a
eh,
lot of soccer, right? I don't think we realize how much soccer there is in there.
oh yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
know.
really upset about this tournament? There's not enough games on the West Coast. It's all on the East Coast.
Well, yeah, because what's happening on the West Coast? Gold Cup.
Well, Gold Cup obviously,
Gold
but
Cup.
There we
it's
go.
like I'd rather have Club World Cup on this side than the Gold Cup.
I'm just saying that you guys are starting to catch on to the excitement that is Club World Cup. So just
Hey,
saying.
FIFA, why do we not have a bracket? Come on, man.
Seriously, I want. There's got to be some bracket around. So we'll get it.
We're gonna find a bracket and then let's make an
Let's see.
RSL Bros
Club
group.
World Cup
You're gonna do it. You're gonna find it.
Bracket Challenge.
Please say it exists.
We'll,
Nope.
we'll, we'll make one. We'll make one.
No, that takes a lot of I'm not a computer coder.
Oh, I take back what I was saying. FIFA has one.
All right, fine. We'll get that together and make sure everyone does their guesses before Saturday. How's that? All right, guys. We've talked a lot, but we really need to get to this one. This is probably the most important topic of the night. You guys ready for this? RSL's back.
Woo! First game in a month. First home game in a month. Excuse me. First home
Oh,
game in a month.
I was gonna say what first game in a month.
No, first
Um,
home game in a month.
yes, and we're gonna go on a pretty good home streak too, home game streak. I know at the end of the month we were supposed to have one against LAFC at LAFC, I think if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. So
Um,
now we have 2 games in the month of June.
yeah, so this month we went from 7 games in May to 2 now in all of June. So we got to make these count. So RSL DC United this Saturday at home 7:30. What are you guys excited for? Give me the good stuff.
All of it.
All the RSL goodness.
To be back home first and foremost, it's gonna be a
Think the
beautiful.
fans again?
Yeah, being back at the tailgate, seeing Christian.
Aw.
Show,
Because we don't see Christian outside of RSL games.
That's a you. That's a you
no,
problem.
no,
That's a you problem.
I think the first and foremost, I think the hardest thing is going to be no Luna, no Dom. So how is RSL going to respond without those 2 players in the midfield? Who is going to step up when we need them the most?
Well, I'm glad you asked those questions. Let's dig into it because that's why we're here. All right. So if we have no Luna, no Dom, we need obviously players to fill in. So we have Goza coming back. Peel is back. I didn't know that he was actually out until I saw his Instagram story. So Goza
I
back,
know.
Peel back.
Shout out to him for going and representing Australia well.
Seriously. I didn't know he was with the U23s.
Correct. Yeah, U23.
Yeah. Cool. Glad he's back because obviously we need some depth. So, what does your guys' lineup look like with absences and possible injury returns?
Seeing the players that are supposedly healthy, I'm going to go with an Alex, Vera, Kobe, Caliskin. Because I feel confident that Kobe is going to be back healthy, ready, because he's been getting all this playing time with the Monarchs. Obviously, Monarchs do play at home tomorrow, so barring Kobe doesn't get any minutes tomorrow, that will probably mean that he'll be ready for Saturday. Defensive mid, I'm going to go with Pablo Ojeda. And then this is where it gets really tricky because obviously we have no midfields. I'm going to go with Diogo. And then I'm going to go with Aiden, Wolf, and then Willie.
You're leaving Gozo off?
I feel like Gozo won't get the start just because he's coming back. But I'm going to go question mark on Gozo.
question mark on Aiden and put Gozo.
That's what I would do.
Um, I'm not sure I agree with your Henry one because Henry hasn't played an RSL game since February. Um, and I don't know if I wonder, is this a good game to try some players out?
If not now, then when? Because you look at the last
Fair.
game, DC gave up 7 goals at home to Chicago.
And I guess that's I guess where we need to maybe get into a little bit. DC obviously coming off that 1-7 loss at home. What kind of DC United do we expect, especially when we're coming off of rest? They're coming off of normal game schedule. Do we expect them to try to come out and just go lights out, or are they going to treat it as a non-conference game um, at altitude? Are they just going to throw away this game too? I've seen it done before.
We've all seen it done before,
I
but
want it to happen.
No, because you look at the players that they're going to be missing. They're going to be without Benteke, who is still gone for injury. He's going to be listed until end of this month. And also, they're without Aaron Herrera, who's with the Guatemalan national team.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, has Herrera been starting almost every match?
Mhm.
He didn't start tonight, but he came off the bench.
Oh, okay. Guatemala's in the Gold Cup.
Correct.
Hmm. Interesting.
A- and on top of that, a win here at Salt Lake would put them at 21 points, which would still keep them in 12th place, but it gets them within 4 points of a playoff spot.
What does it do to us? What do we win?
If we get 3 points, we go up. We could match FC Dallas in 11th place, and that would put us at 18 points, only 4 points behind the playoff spot. So we're both in honestly the exact same spot. I think for both teams, it is a must win,
Um,
especially with us RSL being on a at least a 5 game no win streak.
that was just I was about to count.
7. I think we're at 7 game.
7,
7 game winless
2,
streak.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we've won one in our last 10.
Oh, dang it. I was about to ask you, when was our last win? But I guess you just saw. Our last win was the San Diego one.
Ooh, bro, winless May. All right, so maybe let's get away from maybe game analytics, guys. Do we count this season as a loss yet?
We're only at the halfway point. I would not say yet. I think
Yep.
the season itself could only be considered a loss or a wash if we get to a point in the season where we are confirmed eliminated from playoff contention.
There's
Yeah,
17 games left.
correct.
Um, that means that's a total of 51 points available if you go 100%.
hmm
Um, we're at 15 points, and I said our magic number was 46.
46.
Um, that means we need 31 points.
We need to win 11 of the remaining games.
At least yeah, 11 wins would get us 33 points. 11 of the 17 games. Holy crap.
What I want to ask you guys is at what point when the playoff from when we get so far from that ninth spot, do we just wave the white flag and do we just focus more on Leagues Cup?
I think the focus should just be on Leagues Cup at this point.
Honestly, there's good discussion in that because if we can perform well in Leagues Cup, I think that'll translate to league play.
Yeah.
Because if we have that confidence in Leagues Cup, we could have confidence in league play. Because if we can somehow pull results against like the likes of Club America and Santos, is that who else we're
No,
playing?
San Luis.
San Luis, that's it.
And Querétaro.
Querétaro. That's the most fun name to say, Querétaro. But if we can pull results against them, that's going to boost confidence, and we need the confidence boost right now.
And I think with the Leagues Cup, since it has that chance to punch your ticket into the CONCACAF Champions Cup, I think total focus should be on that because right now we're not going to get a punch our ticket playoffs wise. supporter shield wise. So whole focus should be Leagues Cup and only Leagues Cup.
I don't know, man. I still imagine 2009 when we made it into the last spot of the Eastern Conference, being in the Western Conference, and we still won the entire cup. I still have hope. And like you said, until we mathematically cannot, or Christian said it, until you mathematically cannot get into the playoffs, I'm not going to give up hope. Um, so
I think if RSL were to mathematically get, let's say, 1 point in the month of June, then I think we're kind of tapping out of this fight.
yes, so definitely we need. I mean, who else do we play this month? So
Uh,
LAFC is a no,
and KC.
and KC winnable games. So DC and KC winnable games. If we get 6 points, hope is still alive. All
Agreed.
right. So maybe let's just take it just like what all the players say, one game at a time. We'll take it 1 month at a time. If we can get 6 points this month, for sure hope. If we get 4 points, I'm still on the ish. If we get 2 points, I'm starting to think more negative. If 1 or 0, forget about it. Got it? That's
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 fair.
how that's how I'm rolling. I think that's fair enough for everyone. So, do you guys have any other? Actually, no. I do have another thought because of we're in summertime now. Summer transfer window, guys. We haven't heard anything. Actually, no. We heard one rumor.
One. One.
Did you guys see it?
Lutel.
I did see it. I can't remember his name. Remind me of the name.
I was just about to look it up. So, it's another Colombian.
That's right.
He plays for Junior in
Mm.
Colombia, and you know what? People are saying that it's actually not the best person to
He's a
be.
right mid, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
He plays right wing, but he also plays attacking mid and left wing as well. So he plays across the board everywhere. Um, his name is oh, here it is, Jose Enamorado.
Oh.
Don't I don't think you'll be enamorado after you see him
No,
play.
I saw.
Stats wise, it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah, I saw someone tweet. I was like, "Oh, this looks like an RSL like rumor." um, Again, and people are starting to speculate. Some, I'm not gonna say there's a lot. Some started throwing out, well, maybe that means we're gonna be selling Luna, so we need to find a replacement in there for Luna and whatnot. I'm like,
Everybody's calm down, calm down. He's not going anywhere. Nope, nope, nope.
I
Not
still,
yet.
I still think he's not going anywhere. Yeah,
No.
but all right,
Hey, beginning of the
what?
season, both of you two were like, oh, we're gonna lose him in the summer. Like, we'll keep him for the year.
I need to rewatch that. I want to excuse myself if I did say that because maybe I got a little bit too happy. But I did. One of us said he was going to be the Golden Boot. I think it was you, Marcos.
I did. I did.
So, all right.
Last thing before we do
What?
prediction time. Knowing this team just had a 2 week break, are you guys expecting anything change or anything from the squad?
Historically, on 2 week breaks, we're horrible. Just throwing that out there. Historically, we are horrible. But I, like we already said, DC United is a winnable game, and it should be, especially after a 1-7 loss. Do I? I mean, I'm not going to say whether we're going to win or lose or draw right now, but I have better hopes than I have had in other games the past couple of weeks. Actually, except for the LA Galaxy game, I had a lot of hope for that one. That one let me down harder than bricks. So I don't know.
Guess we'll find out.
We'll find out in
Prediction
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 time.
time. We need to coordinate better on that.
We do. All right, Christian, go first.
I'm gonna be optimistic. 2-0 victory RSL.
Good. I love you.
Good. Good. Good.
Margos.
I think DC will get a goal. RSL will get back to winning ways. 2-1 victory for us.
All right. I like that. I'm gonna go a little more defensive, only because we don't have high producing offense. So I'm also gonna say a win, but it's only gonna be 1-0 win for RSL. Keep it to a minimum. But A win's a
No,
win.
no, no Luna, no Dom, no problem.
Ooh, I like that.
Ah, I'm not sure I like that.
I mean, I like the optimism behind it.
It's true. All right. Let's finish off how we always finish off. Marcos, give us the Instagram questions.
Absolutely. This Instagram question is brought to you by
Um,
The letter Q.
this first one. Who is your favorite ex RSL player?
Ooh. Well, wait. Hmm. Like X, like, does that include retired or still in the league?
I think just former RSL player.
Kyle
All the
Beckerman.
Kyle for. I'm gonna have to go with Javi.
Uh, yeah, I'm a huge hobby fan. Um, but I don't know. I can go with the Sabo. I can go with the Joao Plata. I really like
Hmm.
Joao Plata. He was a lot of fun to watch. But I think I'll just stick with the with Javi. Why not? Safe
Okay,
Classic,
answer.
but speaking of
classic.
RSL Legends, quick reminder, the DC game this Saturday is the one where we get to honor Nick Raimondo with him getting the Circle of Honor ring?
Ring of
Ring
Honor.
of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
Inducted into the Ring of Honor. So be there.
Hey,
Historic.
last time there was like a little committee of rings. I remember that there was only one ring that ended up sticking out and almost destroying the whole Earth. So I'm not really liking this.
Lord of the Rings isn't real. Best movie trilogy of all time.
It's true. Anyways,
Anyways,
next one.
next question. Why are we not singing If You Believe before every game?
We are. You're just not singing loud enough.
I was like, I was saying, yeah, I hear it. Christian, I hear it up at the press box. Alan
I
probably hears it.
I want to get to the point in RSL history where we don't need to put it over the loudspeakers and
Where we don't
everyone
where we
automatically
don't
says,
where we don't need it on the jumbotron, the words.
yeah, I hope for that day to come very soon, just because, yeah, that's our song. It's been our song for how long has it been? For a long time. So people need to learn it, sing it whenever they're not prompted. Anyways,
Next question. Do you expect RSL to lose any players during the transfer window coming up?
lose players. Um,
That's a really good question.
I I wonder, and I don't want to throw out any rumors, but I wonder if we kind of like the Matt Crook situation where he wanted to leave because of certain personal issues. I wonder if maybe we send off Diogo.
That's the only possibility.
I
My
just wonder.
Which
my Lachlan.
Really?
maybe Lachlan.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But he's only been here a year.
My
But
thing is
he's
like
been overshadowed by Wolf.
yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Sorry, Marcos, for stealing your thunder.
Just totally just steal
Uh,
it.
all good. Here we go. Last and final question for you guys for this evening. So, do we freak out or are we chalking this season for an L?
We already
You
answered this.
we just answered it for you, but I will repeat it. We need 4 points for me not to freak out. 2 points, I start getting on the edge. 1 or 0, I'm totally out for the rest of the season.
There you heard it. You heard it right there, folks.
Cool. All right, guys. We may not have occupied all of our time this time because to be honest, I was really afraid of both of you guys going on huge, bigger rants. I'm glad you guys controlled yourself. That's a lot of self control, Christian.
I I could have been less family friendly, but I didn't.
I only have to use one beep. That I'm very proud of you. Oh, well, guys, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. I mean, this is going to be a slow month for RSL news. But soccer wise, if you guys just love overall soccer talk, no worries. We're still here for you. We're
We
here
got
not
we
not
got the
only
Gold
for
Cup. We got the Club World Cup. We got MLS all this weekend. If you guys are going to be at the RSL game this Saturday, 7:30, catch Christian and I at the tailgate. We got the stickers. We got a good time. So come say hi to Christian and I at the match.
It's true. And we would
Come
love.
heckle Marcos for not keeping his word.
Oh,
Please
yes.
come heckle me.
What?
I want all the heckles.
Also, make sure you give your predictions to these guys. I really love the little prediction time you guys give for the fans. That's always fun. Give your predictions. Let everyone know that you're going to be right, because I think Angie got one of them right.
She's gotten one game right, and she got the goal scorers right too.
That was
That's
crazy.
true. That was wild.
Crazy. So great. I'm excited for Saturday. You guys should be excited for Saturday because it's going to be a win. W's. All right. Sign us off, Marcos.
If you guys are not already, head over to Instagram and X and follow us at the RSL Bros, and catch us wherever you catch your podcasts on Apple and Spotify. And make sure you watch and subscribe on YouTube.
That was great.
You said it. I don't know.
Okay. See you guys next time. Ciao, ciao.